Hi guys, I figured what better time to do a breastfeeding update than when Brayson is eating. So yeah, kill some time when he's eating because Nathan's at work. We have been exclusively breastfeeding now for 3 months. He'll be 3 months old tomorrow, and so far he hasn't had any formula whatsoever. Breastfeeding has been going amazingly. First, like starting right from the hospital, I've been very lucky that he's been so great with it. The day that I had him, when they put him on my chest, he kind of lifted his head up a little bit by himself, and when he did, he fell back down and just found my nipple right away and latched right on and started eating before I even had to like try and get him to take it or anything. I kind of expected that I would have to like mess around with him for a little bit before he would actually realize what to do, but it was like first nature to him and he just automatically did it. And at the hospital for the first few days he was great with it. The nurses were kind of really pushy with breastfeeding at the hospital that I was at, and they would come in every couple of hours and want to check his latch and all kinds of stuff, but he was great right away, so it was kind of annoying for me, but I can understand where they're coming from, that they want to make sure that the baby's doing well and stuff, but he was born at 6 pounds 6 ounces, and last week I weighed him and he was 12 pounds with his clothes on, so he's probably about doubled in size right now in the first 3 months, and I heard that most of the time babies double within the first 6 months, so I think he's doing great. For being breastfed, the doctors think he's really like growing at a healthy rate and everything like that, so I'm happy with it. As far as like pain and uncomfort and all that stuff goes, I've heard a lot of horror stories about it and stuff, but I haven't really encountered anything like that. When I had him like the first like week or so, it took a while to get used to, and he's sweating on me. Yeah, it took a bit to get used to, and it hurt a little bit, and I used nipple cream and stuff at first, and it kind of took away the pain. If I used it, it would pretty much take away the pain by the next day, so that was good, and I never had to deal with any cracked nipples or bleeding or anything, and my mom told me that that happens to everybody who breastfeeds, but it didn't happen to me. So hopefully, if you guys are planning on breastfeeding, you're lucky like I was, because there is the exception, I guess. What are you doing? But yeah, um, he had thrush for a while, and when he did have thrush, um, it got really itchy and uncomfortable and kind of sore for me. So I started using nipple cream and it wasn't going away. So when I took him to the doctor, they told me that he had thrush, and they told me that I would have to use antifungal cream on myself just so that the infection would go away for him and he wouldn't keep getting it back from me. And when I did that, it made it stop hurting right away, and he was great ever since that. His thrush went away in about a week or two, I think. So, and he hasn't had it back yet. I made a video a few weeks ago saying that I thought that it was coming back, but I think it was just milk that was on his mouth, because when I wipe out his mouth with a towel or something like that, there's nothing left. So I'm not too concerned about him having thrush again. And he hasn't been to the doctor recently, but the next time he goes, I'll put that in my next update about him. So So I think he's around 12 pounds right now. Aren't you, buddy? If you guys have any other questions about breastfeeding or anything, feel free to let me know, and I'll answer them in my next breastfeeding update. Pretty much everything is just, I don't really know what to update about because everything's been going pretty well, and we haven't encountered any issues so far. As far as my supply goes, I was pumping all the time, and I was pumping about 10 ounces a day. And then I haven't pumped in the past month or month and a half. Ever since Nathan went away, I just didn't bother pumping when I was away. And then when he came back, I just kind of got out of it. And I have to start doing that again. But yeah, he didn't take bottles in about a month and a half, and then I tried the other day to get him to take bottles, and he didn't really enjoy it that much. But when he got hungry, he took a bottle, but it was like of pumped breast milk. And then he went the whole night. Nathan's mom offered to help us out for the night, so we were spending the night at her house, and she said so that we could get sleep through the whole night that she would give him bottles and take care of him so we didn't have to worry about it, so we could catch up on some sleep. And he didn't take a bottle for her all night. He just slept, and every time she would try to offer it, he didn't want it anymore. And then the other day, I went out to a fair or something, an art festival, sorry, that's what it was. And Nathan had Brayson, and he tried to give him bottles, and he apparently cried for about an hour and a half and wouldn't take the bottle. But before I came back, he took 2 bottles. So he used to take them really well, but now he just needs to get used to it again, I think. My mother is going to be watching him on Saturday for a couple hours, so we'll see if he gets any better with that. I don't think it's going to be too much of a problem, but he definitely does prefer to breastfeed and nurse than to take bottles, which I don't really have a problem with because about 98% of the time, probably more than that actually, about 99.9% of the time, I'm with him anyway. If I go anywhere, I usually take him with me. The only reason I didn't take him with me at that art festival was because there wasn't enough room in the car because I went with my aunt and her friends. But other than that, everything's been going well. And I'm always with him, so I love breastfeeding. I find it so much more convenient. When we have to heat up bottles and wait for the milk to warm up and all that stuff, it's just really tedious, and he doesn't really enjoy it as much, and it's just a lot more convenient to just nurse him, I find. I made an update, well, not really an update, but just a video talking about breastfeeding in public and how I felt about that before I ended up having him, back when I was pregnant. And I said that I wasn't going to breastfeed in public, but I didn't really mind people who do or whatever. But since I had him, I have completely changed my views about that. As you can see, like, I've been nursing him through the whole video, and you can't see anything. Like, I'm really discreet about it, and I don't care. If he's hungry, I'm gonna feed him no matter where I am. A lot of people have talked to me about, like, getting negative feedback about breastfeeding in public, but I've never had any of that. Wow. So, yeah, I think that's pretty much all I have to say. And if you guys have any questions, let me know, and I'll be happy to answer them. Bye.